Ida for crashing a dinner on my ex and his new girlfriend uninvited. I, 32F, broke up with my longtime partner Nathan, 33M, right before COVID hit. We stayed in the same house during lockdown and continued to live together after the lockdown was lifted because we generally get along, and we had a child, 11F, to raise together. Over the last 3 years, we've been roommates and co-parents, nothing more. One day, he was supposed to take our daughter to buy new school clothes, but she came back 10 minutes later in tears. She said they were on their way to the store when his new girlfriend, Kelsey, called, and he drove her back home and dropped her off so he could go spend time with her. He even asked our daughter to lie to me for him, but she was tired of covering for him, implying she'd been lying for him for a while now. When he got home, we had a massive argument. I didn't care if he dated other girls, I cared that, for some reason, he thought he had to sneak around, and it made him act like a jerk to me and our daughter. I told him that if he had been a man about this new girl and just introduced me to her, then maybe we could have all been friends, but instead, he had to act like a dumb teenager, and it ended with him moving out to live with his parents, Ethan and Olivia. A couple of days later, he called and apologized saying he hoped it wasn't too late for him to do things right, and he hoped we could all be friends. I was hopeful that we could finally co-parent in peace for the sake of our child. And this is where things took a turn for the worse. I have always been close with my ex's parents, to the point where even after we broke up, I would be invited over regularly for dinner. They said even if I wasn't their son's partner, I'm still their grandchild's mother, and that makes me family. So one day, when my daughter texts me while at their house and invites me to dinner because they're having my favorite meal, I don't think twice about coming over, even though Kelsey, whom I've never met, now lives there. I figured everyone had to be okay with it since my daughter was inviting me. I ended up having dinner with Ethan, Olivia, and my daughter, but Nathan only came upstairs to grab 2 plates of food and went back downstairs. When I asked Olivia why, she said Kelsey wasn't feeling well today. Whatever, I thought, she's just sick and I'll meet her another day. I had a perfectly pleasant dinner with my ex-in-laws, helped clean up, and made a promise to bring them a coconut cake, Ethan's favorite, and took my daughter home. Later, Nathan blew up my phone with texts and calls, saying it was so weird and rude that I came over for dinner uninvited, that I made Kelsey feel uncomfortable and unwelcome there, and that I caused trouble in their relationship because she assumes we must still be in love for me to come over and see his parents out of the blue like that. I had a talk with my daughter and asked her calmly if she had asked everyone else if it was okay if I come over before she texted me, and she sheepishly said she didn't know she had to ask since it had never been a problem before. I didn't tell her about her dad's meltdown at me, or tell Nathan that she's the one who invited me. She's a child and shouldn't be involved. Instead, I just told him I'm sorry, me dropping by made things awkward, but I thought he wanted us all to be friends from now on, and I figured this was a good place to start being friends. He said there was no way she'd want to be my friend now that I made her feel uncomfortable in her own home. It wasn't my intention to make anyone uncomfortable, but I admit I'd be perturbed if I was the other girl and this happened to me. Update 1. I'll start from the day after the dinner and try to give a concise recap of events. The day after the dinner, I bring Ethan the coconut cake I promised, but not wanting to stir up trouble, I text that I'm bringing it over instead of dropping